Look, we finally got our much needed win. Look, I know it's the OKC Thunders, but we finally got our win. However, I'm not gonna act like we won a championship, but I can finally just, have some sigh of a relief. First, I want to shout out Paul George because that dude is literally on an MVP tear. He is literally tearing things up. He was literally clutch in the fourth quarter. And also, I would love to shout out Nick Batum. He played spectacular defense and he provided pretty good shooting, pretty good versatility. And hey, y'all know me and Luke Kennard, bruh. Like, it's kind of a bit rocky, but Luke Kennard literally showed out tonight as well, too. He was actually keeping us in game. So I got to give Luke Kennard his props as well, too. But I'm still diving into some major problems on the Clippers because while we won the game, so that was pretty good, but literally in the first three quarter, it was pretty bad. And Tyronn Lue's rotations is I still feel like it's pretty ass in my opinion because like look, Brandon Boston Jr. He saw no playing time. Meanwhile, when Eric Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson, they were having their Eric Bledsoe was dookie at first of all. Reggie Jackson was pretty bad as well too, but until like on the till like the the fourth quarter. So I still find it pretty abysmal that Eric Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson and Amir Coffey are getting all the minutes. Meanwhile, Brandon Boston is getting no minutes. Like, it's just beyond ridiculous because if Brandon Boston was playing like at least some minutes, we would have at least beat the Thunders by a comfortable amount of points. And unfortunately, the next team we got is nothing other than the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves, they're definitely not going to be easy because they got Mr. 94, the Clipper legend, Mr. 94 feet, Patrick Beverly. And Patrick Beverly is going to bring nothing but pain against us because that dude is amazing on defense. Yes. So we definitely gotta get together because the Timberwolves is gonna be pretty tough. And I like saying what Eric Bledsoe is doing. I did not like. I still do not like that we traded Eric Bledsoe for Patrick Beverly because that was pretty, in my opinion, like it was pretty bad because Eric Bledsoe is so inconsistent. Like there'll be one day that he looks like a star. The next day, oh my gosh, what the heck, bruh? Literally, like another Russell Westbrook, a turnover machine. Like, bruh, like consistency is key. Like, meanwhile, Patrick Beverly, he always brings consistency on energy, defense, and hustle. But again, but again, it already happened. So, but it still sucked that we traded Patrick Beverly. But I'm gonna still criticize Tyronn Lue's rotation because again, like there are moments that our second unit are playing way too much minute and they're getting burnt out and they're pretty much not producing, while players like Brandon Boston and Jay Scrubb are sitting at the bench, who are really good scorers that the Clippers would need. They're not getting any playing time. It's still pretty much a shame, in my opinion, that they're not going to that they're not getting minutes. But again, like we won the game, so I'm not going to make as much of a big deal of it, but I'm gonna still kind of make a big deal of it because I'm not gonna act like it's everything's perfect that we beat just because we beat the OKC Thunders. I mean, going down in the line, we Tyronn Lue will eventually, in my opinion, have to start putting Brandon Boston and Jay Scrubb in the rotation because the Clippers, like what they struggle on, is they struggle consistencies on scoring and sorry for my cough. So and Brandon Boston and Jay Scrubb, they're both consistent on scoring, especially Brandon Boston because his shot is really tough to guard. And as for Jay Scrubb, I mean he's a pretty good scorer. He's just inefficient, but he still provides like y'all know how I feel about Jay Scrubb, but I'll try my best not to talk about him too much in this video because I already talked about him way too much in my three previous video. But again, but one and also some props that I want to give Tyronn Lue is like look, Tyronn Lue rotations in his coaching tonight was still, in my opinion, like kind of bad because again, he's Brandon Boston saw no minutes, and which is again that's pretty bad. But he got better, but it's still not good. But I'll give him some props. I'll give him one props is Ivica Zubac saw less minutes. He pretty much only got first quarter minutes. He played Isaiah Isaiah Hartenstein in the second and third quarter, and he played Nick Batum as our center. So those are pretty much like the three props. Like Zubac saw less playing time because Zubac, you know, he gets scored on easily, and his his butterfingers. It's just we all know that. And Isaiah Hartenstein, he's on a rise. He's getting the rebounds. And Nick Batum, he's just a versatile piece that plays really good defense. So I guess I'll. So that's the props I'll give Tyronn Lue. But Tyronn Lue, you still need to work on your rotations, in my personal opinion. Like another thing is he did play Winslow instead of Amir Coffey, but he still played Amir Coffey over Brandon Boston, which is it's still it's really abysmal for sure to even think about playing Amir Coffey over Brandon Boston. I don't know how did Amir Coffey manage to finesse Tyler to think that he got minutes, but again, but thankfully I only saw 30 seconds of Amir Coffey, so yeah, and he just airballed it, but didn't see playing time. So, but again, it was a much needed win. So good night, Clipper Nation, and we got the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday. So and Friday. So cross y'all fingers. And be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Or dislike if you disagree with my takes. So this should wrap up this video. And good night.